Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the DI 101 webinar series. My name is Jared Evans, and I'm the Marketing Director for TopBuild's family of companies, including Distribution International. If you are new to the DI 101 webinar series, I'll tell you that it is an incredible resource offered to DI customers, partners, and associates. By partnering with our manufacturers and our industry experts, these webinars really deliver informative presentations about industry trends, new technology, new products, and even product applications. In order to fully support our customers, Distribution International offers products and solutions from multiple manufacturers and brands in many different product categories. This webinar does not represent an endorsement of one manufacturer or brand over another, but we do pride ourselves in partnering with manufacturers that deliver products of the highest quality to our customers. We are extremely excited to welcome our strategic manufacturing partner, AEROFLEX USA, for today's webinar presentation about fiber-free elastomeric duct insulation. The presentation will include information about performance characteristics, standard and code compliance, project types, applications, and a summary of AEROFLEX Breathe-EZ Duct Insulation. Our presenter today is Mark Sylvester. He's the Director of Marketing for AEROFLEX USA. We are proud to have Mark present today, and we thank him for his time. We will field questions at the end of the webinar. To submit questions, simply use the questions tab that you see on the GoToWebinar control panel. You can submit your questions at any point during the webinar, and we will answer the questions at the end. So with that, without further delay, I will turn this over to Mark Sylvester with AEROFLEX.
Thank you for the introduction and invitation, Jared. I also want to thank Distribution International for hosting this webinar. Hi, everyone. I appreciate you making the time to attend this morning. The intent of this presentation is to be educational, informative, and to explain why elastomeric duct insulation is a viable option for safely lining and wrapping ductwork for specific project types. Let's get started. We'll cover the following topics during our time together. First of all, why insulate ducts in the first place? How is duct insulation affected by industry standards and model codes? We'll touch on our values, when to wrap or line ductwork, when is fiberglass and elastomeric appropriate? We'll dive into a little bit about AEROFLEX USA. We'll review one AEROFLEX product solution and wrap up with your questions. The U.S. Energy Information Administration, or EIA, conducts a survey every year about commercial building energy usage. And the one statistic that seems to be pretty consistent is that commercial buildings in the US consume about 39% of all energy output. The EIA survey also estimates that HVAC systems, including refrigeration, consume about 54% of a typical commercial building's total energy usage. Ductwork transports conditioned air from building mechanical systems to occupant spaces and is very susceptible to energy loss. It's proven that thermal insulation, regardless of type, installed on or in ductwork, conserves energy. And let's face it, condensation is inevitable. If it's not controlled, it will cause unwanted consequences such as thermal insulating loss, damage to equipment and surfaces below, slip fall hazards, and the potential for mold growth. And additionally, duct insulation can offer some acoustic benefits. Usually that's when it's internally lined in ductwork, and we'll talk more about that in the coming slides. The American Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning Engineers, also known as ASHRAE, their standard 90.1 and the International Energy Conservation Code, IECC, are two national energy efficiency standards that establish minimum insulation thicknesses for commercial building. Each standard updates every 3 years. In this chart, you'll notice at the very top, it does state minimum. I emphasize that because minimum may not be enough for some projects, depending on the ambient temperature, the relative humidity, and so forth. So that's something that engineers they pay attention to and will adjust as necessary. You also notice in the left column climate zones. More on that in the next slide. And the space types, it could be an exterior rooftop, an unconditioned space like a mechanical room, or an indirectly conditioned space, which would be a room that's next to a mechanical room or a room that's conditioned that will receive heating or cooling. So ASHRAE and the IECC, they both have climate zone maps and they're identical. They determine the minimum duct insulation thickness. So for example, if we took Chicago, where say a project's located, zone 5, and we go back to the chart, you can see the R value that is specified as the minimum thickness for the duct in a given application for a rooftop, for a mechanical room, or an indirectly conditioned space. What about energy codes by states? This comes into play. 90.1 and IECC are adopted not only by states, but also cities, towns, and other municipalities. The local jurisdiction or the most stringent requirement usually overrides the others. For example, Chicago may have a more stringent code than the state code, so the project would follow Chicago. It can get very confusing if it's left to our interpretation. So when in doubt, always reference the project specifications because the standard will be referenced and also the year. And thicknesses do periodically update, which means they usually increase. ASTM establishes many different insulation standards for our industry and also for duct liner. Their standard 1071 for fibrous glass duct lining insulation is similar in nature to C1534, which is created for Elastomeric. And it specifies such things as physical properties, dimensional tolerances, and sound absorption minimums, to name a few. After 5 years, this code requirement is not well known. In 2018, the International Mechanical Code added language for duct coverings and linings within plenums known as listed and labeled. A plenum is a space between, say, a drop ceiling and the roof where a lot of mechanical equipment, piping, ductwork, electronics will run through that space, and it's critical that materials in that space do not promote flame spread or smoke. So with this listed and labeled requirement, let's break it down. At the very top, you'll see 604.3, and this is probably of no surprise to you. The duct insulation must pass either ASTM 84 or UL 723 2550 flame and smoke indexes, as tested by an OSHA nationally recognized testing laboratory, or NRTL. The coverings, linings, and adhesives shall be listed and labeled. What does that mean? Listed simply means that the product is publicly available on the NRTL's website. So if you'll see an example upcoming slide, but if a manufacturer works with an RTL, anyone can go to their website and access their listings to see if the product that's being considered is actively listed, and you can view and download a certificate. Labeled, on the other hand, means that the product packaging must have the lab's label on it and their approval. And that's what inspectors look for on job sites. The product must also undergo periodic inspection by an NRTL, which means in general quarterly surveillance. So that could be an on-site visit or that the manufacturer submits manufacturing data for review. And then finally, if insulation goes inside the ductwork, it must pass UL 181 air erosion resistance, which just means that whatever the manufacturer publishes for maximum air velocity over their liner, the test is 2.5 times greater. For example, if a manufacturer lists 4,000 feet per minute maximum air velocity, then they test at 10,000 feet per minute. Be aware that with listed and labeled, engineers are beginning to ask more about this at the design stage and building inspectors post-installation. OSHA maintains 22 recognized labs, such as UL, Intertech, and Southwest Research Institute, to name a few. And they do change by year. Some fall off, some are added. Here's an example of a listed product where if the manufacturer has this lab, Southwest Research Institute, listed on their product data, anyone can go to their website, view the specific product, and either view or download the certificate if necessary. Labeled, on the other hand, means that the lab's label with their logo and their specific language must be on the product packaging somewhere. It does not need to be attached to the product label in this example, but that's what the inspectors are looking for on a project. When to wrap and when to line a duct. When does an owner, engineer, acoustic consultant determine that? For liner, it usually is driven by the need for acoustics to attenuate or reduce unwanted mechanical noise. And that could be fan noise, airflow, and also sheet metal vibration on ductwork that's going over sensitive spaces in a building. And the liner, it usually falls under the scope of work of the mechanical contractor, the sheet metal contractor, or the contracted duct fabricator. Wrap, on the other hand, is generally used for all other applications, including open plenums. When we go into buildings now and you see an open ceiling that's black or white, and all the mechanical equipment, including ductwork, is up there in the ceiling, it may be wrapped to reduce breakout sound from the ductwork to reduce reverberation. As far as types for liner and wrap, fiberglass is the most common for its cost, lower cost, its ease of application. The open cell structure attenuates noise at higher frequencies. Again, we'll talk about that more in an upcoming slide. And fiberglass also offers some additional sustainability benefits, for example, recycled content. What exactly is elastomeric? It is simply a synthetic or man-made rubber. Two types are utilized in our industry. One is an NBR PVC for short, and the other is EPDM. NBR has been available commercially in our country since the 50s, and EPDM was invented in the 60s, not used in our industry until the 70s. They're both commonly specified for below ambient or cold piping applications such as refrigeration, chilled and domestic water, and condensate lines. They're both manufactured without ozone depleting agents. What makes it a unique product is that it's closed cell. It has a skin on the outside, whether it's a tube or a duct liner, that serves as a built-in vapor retarder. And it's flexible, so it's less susceptible to breakage and does not need additional fabrication between shipping from the distributor to the contractor and or job site. Elastomeric is fiber-free, it's lightweight, available in preformed tubes, sheets, rolls, and accessories. As far as cost goes, if I'm speaking in very general terms, this is dependent upon what part of the country the project's in, but generally speaking, if standard 1-inch fiberglass liner is $1 a square foot, elastomeric may be $3.50 to $4 a foot. So obviously elastomeric is not for every project. Where we do see it being specified most often are projects that have the budgets. For example, K through 12 schools, universities, civic projects like libraries, performing arts centers, healthcare, hospitals, medical office buildings, and government buildings such as courthouses and federal buildings. So what exactly is EPDM? It is, again, a man-made synthetic rubber. What it's known for in industry is its stability and resistance to moisture, heat, and UV. We see it often utilized in the HVAC industry for components. In our vehicles, your wiper blades, the hoses under the hood, the weather stripping is more than likely an EPDM rubber. And also very common for roofing membranes and coatings. Who is AEROFLEX USA? We are a wholly owned subsidiary of AEROFLEX Company Limited, who is the dedicated insulation division and manufacturer of the Eastern Polymer Group out of Bangkok, Thailand. Eastern Polymer Group was founded in 1978, is still family owned and operated to this day, traded on the Stock Exchange of Thailand, maintains a world-class EPDM R&D center, maintains manufacturing operations in the US, Thailand, China, India, and Europe. And AEROFLEX USA is the North American headquarters in manufacturing based in Sweetwater, Tennessee, the sole manufacturer of the AEROFLEX brand of EPDM. All US manufactured products are Buy American compliant. And one other note for clarification, we have been known for many years under the Aerosol brand. And in an effort to simplify our brand for customers and specifiers in North America, we changed that brand name from Aerosol to AEROFLEX in 2022. Just please know that they are identical products. We're just transitioning to a new brand name. So what can we offer? How can we help with a product solution? AEROFLEX Breathe-EZ is a closed cell elastomeric duct insulation for liner or wrap. It does meet the ASTM requirements for an elastomeric duct liner. It passes the 2550 flame and smoke indexes through 2 inches thick, is listed and labeled. and it can also be called plenum rated. And I want to take a minute to comment on plenum rated because we receive that question quite often. When you're asked if an installation is plenum rated, it can be answered two ways. One is, does it pass 2550? Yes or no? If yes, then maybe the correct answer is plenum rated. But that question could also mean whoever's asking may be asking, is it listed and labeled? In that case, you need to go back to the manufacturer's data sheets or web landing page to confirm that. So just be aware of that. Whenever I'm asked about plenum rated, I have to clarify the question before I answer it. Breathe-EZ is fiber-free, non-particulating, moisture and microbial resistant. It does pass the UL air erosion test up to 10,000 feet per minute. It attenuates unwanted noise at the lower frequencies, and we're going to address that in the next slide. Thicknesses available are ranged from 1/2 inch to 2 inches thick, rolls in 48 to 60 inch widths, and lengths are available in 10-foot increments to be optimized for water jet machines. And all sizes are also available with an acrylic PSA or peel and stick back. So regarding acoustics, in this chart, what acoustic consultants look for is the noise reduction coefficient. And so here you have at the bottom the different octave bands that the installation is tested to, and the higher the better. And you can see for Elastomeric, it does very well in the 250 to say 750 range. So it can attenuate fan noise, airflow, and sheet metal vibration. And it may be a cost-efficient alternative to expensive silencers and things like that acoustic consultants have to also consider. Open cell liners like fiberglass do a very good job at the upper frequencies, say from 500 to well over 1,000 hertz. So that's where it's determined by acoustic consultant if it's going to be elastomeric or fiberglass. If the design team or owner is looking for sustainability qualities in a duct insulation, Breathe-EZ does offer a product-specific Type 3 Environmental Product Declaration, or EPD, a verified health product declaration. It is also certified as low VOC by SCS Global. Their Indoor Advantage Gold certified program is an equivalent to UL Green Guard Gold. EPDM is naturally microbial resistant. We don't need to add biocides to the product during manufacturing because EPDM does not contain the food sources such as oils, binders, and resins that microbes can feed on. So there's just no need for us to add anything like that to our product. For projects that are looking for very little PVC on the project, certain owners are starting to ask for that. Breathe-EZ is ultra low PVC at less than 1%. Something to be aware of with Elastomeric, it does not offer any recycled content. We haven't figured out yet how to repurpose our product at the end of its life cycle. Adhesives, very important part of the duct liner and duct wrap installation. AEROFLEX, we do offer 3 different adhesives. 2 are solvent-based. 1 is low VOC, which does meet the LEED requirements. But most sheet metal shops have a favorite low VOC, typically spray adhesive, that they use for their fiberglass liner, and it's water-based. The problem with using water-based with elastomeric is that water gets trapped between two impervious surfaces, the sheet metal and the elastomeric liner. So it takes forever to dry. Most shops understand that, and they have another adhesive that has some solvents in it to allow it to tack up and cure. So they may use that, obviously in much lower quantity. They may have the large canisters with the sprayers, or they even may use smaller canisters of their preferred product by manufacturer. So just keep that in mind. With elastomeric, water-based adhesives should not be used. Something with low solvents would be the right alternative. And most HVAC adhesive manufacturers do offer a solution for elastomeric. As far as installing Breathe-EZ, AEROFLEX's installation guide, which is available for download on our website, offers best practices on cutting, gluing. Water jets do a wonderful job cutting our product. It's just amazing when you see that in action. It's like they can make a puzzle out of a roll. This product is closed cell, so it is not intended to be used as a conformable product on the inside of ductwork at 90-degree angles. Important to note, weld pins, we recommend dished, sloped, or cupped pins so that they don't puncture the skin of the insulation. And regarding spiral ductwork, easy to do for wrapping, but when internally lining with our product, it really, that is not the focus of the applications. Talking to sheet metal shops that have installed a lot of elastomeric, this comes up once in a while, and their rule of thumb is on 12-inch spiral pipe and larger. It is possible to install 1-inch elastomeric. When you get into 1.5 inch, maybe 14-inch and 2-inch, 16-inch, but that really is going to be determined by the sheet metal shop and the duct fabricator. They will be able to tell you what their capabilities are and what they feel comfortable with. Please bookmark our website as your go-to source for the most current product and technical information for duct, piping, equipment, and accessories. You'll find helpful technical data sheets, certifications, specifications, and a pretty comprehensive blog. The Contact Us page, it's not a black hole. We actually receive those directly on the spot. We strive to respond to those within 24 hours. So please don't be afraid to send an inquiry through the Contact Us page. Our products can be found in many of the online specification programs such as MasterSpec, SpecLink. We also have guide specifications in Word available on our website. Breathe-EZ is specifically listed in this section here, 230713 for duct wrap and 233113 for duct liner. So that concludes my presentation. I hope that you can take away something new that can better help you to better assist your customers when it comes to elastomeric duct insulation. Thank you again for attending. Your local DI branch is ready to help you with your duct insulation needs. And I'd like to close by extending my thanks again to Jared and Distribution International for hosting this webinar. Jared, I'll turn it back to you for questions.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you for taking time today. While we were waiting for some questions to come in case there are any, I do want to remind our audience that DI as a distributor offers this webinar platform as a way for our manufacturing partners to inform customers about their products. We offer this platform to all of our manufacturing partners. So we've gotten good feedback about our webinars, both with our customers and our associates and our suppliers. So we encourage participation. Also want to take a second to just plug distributioninternational.com. It's an amazing resource, has a wide range of value-added features, including our customer portal, which we call Customer Connect. When you are logged in as a DI customer, you can view past invoices, access pricing, request quotes, and even submit orders all online. And I think maybe the best feature is the detailed online product catalog of more than 30,000 products. It's easy to search, easy to navigate. So go to distributioninternational.com and register for your online account and start making your job easier. Also, check us out follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We record every webinar that we do, and we post it on our YouTube channel as an online resource. So you can go to our YouTube channel and view past webinars, which is a great resource. And obviously follow us on LinkedIn and get updates on when future webinars are coming. So some little plugs there. And again, like Mark said, if you're a customer on the webinar, reach out to your DI representative, to request a quote or get more information about these AEROFLEX products and our vast array of other products that DI offers. We don't have any questions, Mark, so that must mean that you were very thorough and answered everything up front. So great job.
Well, I hope that's the case.
Yeah, we appreciate your time. And if anybody has any questions, like you said, reach out to your DI rep or to Mark directly, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you, everybody, for your time today, and we look forward to the next one.